Sorry, it's been a while since I've done a tutorial. Things have seemed to get in the way in life recently, so but I have decided to go back over the tutorials that I haven't done yet. When we come to unintended, that might be a bit more of a tricky one to do, so I'll have to have a think about how I go about doing something for that. But this one's for Fields of Gold, which I haven't yet managed to get round to yet, so here we go. So first of all, I put my capo on 4 for Fields of Gold, and then for the chords, I play E minor, C, D, and G, and they are repeated all the way through. So hopefully it's not too much of a difficult one to do this one, and I kind of freestyle it a little bit. So yeah. So to play the chords, for the first chord, we're going to play E minor. So you're going to put your second finger rather on the A string on the 2nd fret. So that's just there. And then your 3rd finger is going to go just underneath that on the D string on the 2nd fret again. So that's E minor. And then the next chord you will play is a C chord. So you want to put your 1st finger on the 1st fret of the B string, then your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of your D string, and then your 3rd finger goes on the 3rd fret of your A string. And with C, remember, we don't play this bottom string, so we just play these top 5 strings. The next chord is D, so that looks like this. For D, you only play the top 4 strings, and you want to put your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of your G string. Then your 2nd finger goes underneath that but 2 strings away on the 2nd fret of your top E string, and then your 3rd finger makes a triangle sort of shape, and you play put your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of your B string. So altogether that sounds like that. And then your final chord for Fields of Gold is G. So the G shape is with your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, then your 3rd finger goes on the 3rd fret of your bottom E string, and then your little finger goes on your 3rd fret of the top E, so you can play all your strings for that. Same with E minor, you can play all the strings for that as well. So those are the chords that we've got to learn for this song. So that's the straightforward sort of part out of the way. Show you picking wise with this song is that you have like a bit of an intro, or I should say I have a bit of an intro to this song, and on the first time round that you play it, you don't sing on the intro bit, and then you go into a sort of ooh section. so it's slightly different each time round I play it, because the first time, like I say, is not with singing, so I do something a bit different with the finger picking on the first time round, which requires a hammer on, which if you'll have seen any of my other videos, like Songbird for example, then you'll know what I mean by a hammer on, but I'll show you first of all. So with the E minor, you sort of you pluck, I'll say first again that if you want to make life easier for yourself, then use your thumb for the bottom 3 strings, and just keep moving them around dependent on which chord you're playing, and then with your 3 fingers here, you want to rest them or leave them sort of hovering near the top 3 strings, so they're ready to play them. So your first finger, this finger, will always play the G string. Your second finger will always play your B string, and your third finger will always play your top E. So we're going to, for E minor, we're going to go down the strings and then come back up a bit. So you go thumb, and then first finger on the G string, and second finger on the B string, and then third finger on the top E. So, and then back to your B string with the second finger, back to your G string with the first finger, and then back to the B string again with the second finger, and then back to the G string again with the first finger. So all together. And then for your C, you kind of gloss over the first one a bit quicker, and the same with the D. So you use your thumb to pluck the A string this time with your C, and then you go just down, rather than, when I say down I mean down that way, rather than coming back up. So you only play 4 of the notes of that pattern this time round. So it's the thumb on the A string, first finger on the G string, and then second finger on the B string, third finger on the top E, and then that's it for the C chord. And then you move on to your D chord, and so because you're only playing the top 4 strings, you want to use your thumb to play the D string on this occasion with a D chord. So then you just do the same pattern but with that you did for the C, but just with the D shape on. So thumb on the D string, and then your first finger on the G string, second finger on the B string, and third finger on the E string. So, and then finally when you get to your G, you do kind of what you do on the E minor the first time round, but this is where your sort of hammer on bit comes in the first time round. So we go down, thumb on the bottom E, first finger on the G string, second finger on the B string, and third finger on your top E, so, and then back up to your B string, so, and then back up to your G string with your first finger, and then back to your B string again with your second finger, so, and then that's where the hammer-on comes. So when you go back to the B string again, then you hammer on. When I say hammer on, I just mean place your finger whilst the string is being played. So you pluck the B string with your second finger and then hammer on the first finger on the B string on the first fret. So, and then take it off and play it again. So hammer on, play with it on, and then take it off. And that's how you do a hammer on for the intro section. And then when you're singing the ooh part, as the sort of second part of the introduction, then you play that all the same, except you don't do the hammer-on part with the G, because you're just leading on into your E minor then. So the second time round it just goes like this. And then into You'll Remember Me, When the West Wind Moves. And then in this one, when you get to the When the West Wind Moves, and it's always in each verse, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 verses in this song. So in each verse, on the first time round of playing C, so When the West Wind Moves, For to Gaze a While, Will You Be My Love, Since Those Summer Days, and When the West Wind Moves again, your C involves another hammer-on whilst you're singing this time. So it goes You'll Remember Me, which is the usual E pattern that I showed you, E minor pattern that I showed you first of all. So When the West Wind Moves, and then so you go down to where you would normally with the C, and then you go back to your B string. So, oh no, not back to your B string, sorry, back to your G string. So, back to your G string, and then you hammer on your little finger this time on your 3rd fret of the B string. So, this time you play your A string with your thumb, your first finger plays the G string, your second finger plays the B string, then your third finger plays the top E, then back to your G string with your first finger, and then hammer your little finger on, so play the string of B and hammer on with your little finger, and then up to your top E string again. So all together. And then among the fields of barley, D. And then you can tell the sun in his jealous sky. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky. So C to G there, and then back to C, D, and G again. And then I kind of do that most of the way through the song, apart from sometimes when I get to the G in each verse where it says among the fields of barley, so among the fields is D, and then of barley is G. So when I get to G, sometimes I play, not all the way through I might add, I kind of see how it feels, but you kind of go down, and then you kind of play the bottom strings, the two bottom, I should say top strings rather, the two top strings you play at the same time. So I'll show you, it goes. So it's thumb on the bottom E string, then your first finger plays the G string, and then together with your second and third finger you play your top E and your B string together at the same time, and then back to your G with your first finger, and then back to the two strings together again. Sorry, I didn't do the before you do the two together, you do thumb, index finger, middle finger, and then the two together, and then back to your G string on the index finger, and then back to the two fingers together. And that's most of it really, apart from when you get to the chorus, it goes in a slightly different order of things. So the chorus being the section where it goes, I never made promises lightly. That part you play twice in the song. So you play it once after the verse 3, which is will you stay with me, will you be my love, and then you play a little instrumental part, so I'll go over that in a second, and then you go back to the chorus, and then essentially you go back to the beginning because you do the ooh section again, and then two more verses, and the final verse you do what you did at the beginning with the G, so you do that hammer on again at the end just to finish the song off. All these things are just what I do, and it's just suggestions, and you can put them in wherever you choose to, or leave them out if you choose to also. So the chorus section is I never made promises lightly. I never made promises lightly, and there have been some that I have broken. So you'll notice there that I'm doing more what I do on the E minor and the G with the C and D there. So I never made promises lightly. Actually, it's just on the C that time. So you on your C you go on the thumb on the A string, then your first finger on the G string, second finger on the B string, third finger on the top E, and then back to your B string, back to your G string, and then back to your B string again, and back to your G string, I think. Just check that. Never made promises lightly. Yeah, so that's what you do on the C, and then the D and the G, you just do the 4. So thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, and then G, the same. So thumb on the bottom E, first finger on the G string, second finger on the B string, and third finger on the top E string. So you do that twice, and then it goes but I swear in the days still left, so that part goes C, D, E minor on the left section. So but I swear in the days still left, and then into we will walk in fields of gold. So that's back to the original pattern where you're just playing the 4 strings for the C and the D, and then the G is the full section, and then you play that again. So we will walk in fields of gold. And then you get to your instrumental part. So again, for the instrumental bit, I kind of play it differently each time I play it. Sometimes I do the bit that I showed you with the G's earlier, in the Among the Fields of Barley. I sometimes do that on the E minors as well as the G. So it goes E minor, C with the hammer on part, like you do at the beginning of each verse, and then into the second time around you play C again, and then D, G, E minor, C, G, C, D, G. So I tend to play it like this. So thumb on your bottom E string, and then first finger to play your G string, second finger to play your B string, then the top two together, and then back to your G, and then back to your top two again. So, and then C, D, G, so I might do either with the two strings together again, or I might not on the G, it depends. And then back to E minor, again with the two strings together. You can hear that, can't you, when I'm doing the two strings together. So just play it as you feel it, really. And then back to your C, and back to your G, back to your C, back to your D, and back to your G again. So I was back to the straightforward pattern on the G there. So it just goes thumb on your bottom E string, first finger on your G string, second finger on your B string, third finger on your top E, and then back to the B string, back to the G string, back to the B, and back to the G again. So E, G, B, E, B, G, B, G. So think of the Bee Gees, and then you might get there with that pattern. And that's it, really. That's the finger picking pattern. Or just to finish off, I'll play it all the way through, and as I say, just either play along with me or play it on your own. Choose your capo position if this one isn't so comfortable for you, and just have fun with it. Enjoy yourself, and learning a new song. So we start off with the intro section. Ooh-ooo-ooo. You'll remember me. E minor, when the west wind moves, C. So you do the hammer on section and then replay your C again there. So, and then among the fields of barley, D to G. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky, when we walked in fields of gold. So she took her love for to gaze a while among the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her hair came down among fields of gold. Will you stay with me, E minor? Will you be my love, C? D, among the fields of barley, to G. E minor, and you can tell the sun in his jealous sky, C, G. When we walked in fields of gold, C, D, G. And then chorus, C. I never made promises lightly, and there have been some that I have broken, so C, D, G again. But I swear in the day still left, so C, D, E minor that time, and then we will walk in fields of gold. We will walk in fields of gold. C, D, G. Instrumental. Back to the chorus. I've made promises lightly, and there have been some that I have broken. C, D and G again. C, in the days still left. E minor, we will walk in fields of gold. C, D, G. C, D, G again. We will walk in fields of gold. And then back to the ooh section. Many years have passed since those summer days on the fields of barley. See the children run as the sun goes down, as you lie in fields of gold. You'll remember me, E minor, when the west wind moves, C, among the fields of barley. You can tell the sun, E minor, in his jealous sky, C to G, when we walked in fields of gold. C, D, G, when we walked in fields of gold. C, D, E minor, when we walked in fields of gold. C, D, G again. So C, D, G, and then you finish on the hammer run. And sometimes you might like to hammer on and then finish on the two top strings together again. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. Just have a go, see how you like it. Thanks very much. Bye.